Welcome to The Actor's Choice, where the actors and actresses have a chance to talk about themselves and their careers. Join us now for the next hour as we explore the marvelous industry of acting by actors and actresses from today's exciting show business world. And now, direct from Hollywood, here's your host, Ron Brewington.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ron Brewington, and welcome to The Actor's Choice. Roll it, Tony.
Who are you?
Who are you?
Private Bruce. Who's in charge here?
Don't know.
Where is everybody?
Dead. Or escaped.
What happened?
Listen, Private. There are lots of spies here.
Someone has to be in charge. Who's in charge here? No.
What's one more body in the middle of this war, Private? Killer!
Ladies and gentlemen, my first guest today is LA's most active theater publicist. Say that again, Ron. LA's most active theater publicist. He represents over 100 live attractions and several dozen feature films annually. And guess what? This gentleman is also an actor who just appears in 70 plays on both courts in addition to the occasional film and TV. Ladies and gentlemen, please get your pen and pencil out so before he leaves, he will tell you the secret of a publicist, okay? A secret of a publicist. You'll get it from this gentleman. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome a professional that I truly admire, actor, publicist, and producer, Philip Sokoloff. Philip, welcome to The Actor's Choice.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me here.
You wouldn't have a television show without you, my friend.
Oh.
As we say in the business, you the man.
It's a pleasure to be here. I'm so flattered that you asked me.
Again, that idea about what a publicist has to know, we're going to ask people that question before we get out of here, okay? Where were you born at, sir?
I was born in Philadelphia.
What, Philly and Philly and Philly and Philly?
Philly.
Yeah, Philly and Philly. And who's that guy?
Yeah.
Look familiar.
That looks familiar. Yeah,
that's the reason for that one. When I found it, I put the two together. Really, really. You have been doing a lot of things for many, many years. First of all, where did you start? Did you start in acting first, or did you start in public relations first?
I started in acting first.
Okay. What made you do that?
Huh?
What made you do that?
The first inkling I got when I was about 3 years old, I saw Hopalong Cassidy on television. I said, I want to do that. I didn't think of him as a cowboy. I thought of him as an actor playing a cowboy. And that was the first inkling I had that I wanted to be an actor.
Well, you made it.
Yep.
We got a couple of photos. Here's a couple of photos that we'd like to show and let people see what you are. There's the first one. Rod Serling's Stories from the Zone, right?
Yeah, that is at Theater 40 in Beverly Hills.
Okay.
And we did that. I think just before the pandemic lockdown.
Wow. Okay, I'll take you there. Second photo, Tony.
That is at Theater West. That is from the Petrified Forest.
Okay. Anything else you want to say about it?
I sort of come in the second act as the sort of like the Deus Ex Machina. I come in with a couple of deputies and we go after the criminals who have taken over this cafe.
Okay. Next photo, please.
Mm-hmm.
Ray Bradbury.
Yeah, that's a show called Greentown. That was a world premiere. And I worked with Ray from August of 2001 through February of 2010. He had a theater company in town. And he produced lots of plays, and occasionally I was in them.
All right.
So I was in this particular show. It was an LA Times Critics' Choice.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a joy to be in. I loved working with him. He's known for science fiction, but he really considered himself a fantasy author rather than a science fiction author. Because he says, I'm not a scientist, but he was a man of the theater as well. He loved the theater. And he would say, I was talking to my wife, Maggie, the other night. I said, open the window. I want to throw some money out. Oh, you're going to produce another play.
Okay.
Yeah, he was a prolific producer of theater.
Okay. Here's the next photo on him, because this is where you might not, folks, you might not see him again.
Yeah, that was from Fahrenheit 451. That
Yes.
was from 2008 at the Fremont Center Theater um, in South Pasadena. He's wearing a medal that he received from the French government. They made him a commander of arts and letters. And he would come to the theater on Saturday night and he'd say, "The French made me a commander. I command you to enjoy my play."
There he is. Nice, good to zoom in there, Tony. Excellent, excellent. Yeah. May God be with him, indeed, indeed. One more photo we'd like to see. Your first, when you first got into the IMDb business, your first TV movie was a movie called Running Delilah.
Running Delilah, yeah.
Yeah.
It was, I guess it was 93, I think it was. It was a backdoor
Yes.
pilot for ABC television.
Yes.
It starred Billy Zane, Kim Cattrall, and Diana Rigg. And I
Okay.
didn't get to work with Diana Rigg, but I did get to meet Billy Zane
Uh-huh.
and Kim Cattrall, who were just the most gracious people. And I was a bad guy. I had a beard back then,
Yes.
so I was playing an Iraqi nuclear scientist.
Rockies, yes. Scientist.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Okay, so we've seen the taste of you as an actor, but you also are a publicist. So how did you get into public relations? How'd you do that?
I was producing theater, I guess between 89 and 93.
Uh-huh.
My actors noticed that I was able to get my shows reviewed. So they referred me to other theater companies. And that's how I started. The job involves getting the show out in front of the media and getting the media to cover it. And the media climate back in the 90s when I started was much more conducive to coverage of theater than it is now.
Okay.
The newspapers have cut their staffs. There are fewer critics there, but online publications have picked up the slack.
Yes.
So there's still places to be covered.
Interesting. Yeah. Now, interesting. Interesting. Tell people who want to get into the business of being a public relations person, what type of training and skill do you have to have?
You have to know how to write.
The secret, ladies and gentlemen. That's the secret. Did you hear what he said?
Yeah.
You know how to write.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I write press releases for shows, and
Yes.
in journalism, they talk about the 5 W's: who, what, when, where, and why. And those are the ingredients of a good press release.
Yep.
And sometimes you have to persuade various outlets to cover you.
Okay.
I became very good in begging and groveling, but I was able to get my shows covered.
So tell people, what's your job as a publicist? What do you do from beginning, middle, and end? What do you do?
I get the show. I get a show covered, either a play or a film,
Okay.
covered by the media, reviewed by the media. Sometimes it involves getting interviews for the actors or directors or writers. It involves getting photos of the shows placed. Now this is the 21st century, so your photos have to be in color, not black and white.
Okay.
And they have to be JPEG format, not PDF.
Right.
And for print media, they have to be higher resolution than from the web. The web you can get away with lower resolution, but not in print media. That's pretty much it. But you have to find a hook to get an editor or a critic interested in seeing your show.
Yes.
Some critics have their own preferences for what they want to see.
Uh-huh.
Um, some critics like musicals.
Yep.
Some critics like one-person shows. More of them don't. But I personally like shows with a lot of people on. I like to see a lot of people on stage.
Okay.
So and that's another thing. If you're going to get your show reviewed, you might as well get a lot of actors reviewed at the same time. So I would try to get shows with larger casts when they were available to me.
Okay.
Now the Hollywood Fringe just concluded.
Yes.
They're having extensions for some of their shows now, but the Hollywood Fringe has a lot of one-person shows, and that's okay. But you have to take some responsibility.
Yes.
As an actor for what you are presenting to your audience. One critic said to me, "Why are so many of these one-person shows about trauma? I go to the theater to be entertained, and uplifted." And and so you have to consider that. You have to consider what you are doing to your audience when you present your show.
Gotcha.
There is a way. There are ways to do serious topics in an entertaining fashion.
Okay. All right.
And but you can't just beat up your audience and then.
You can't do that?
No.
And
expect them to come back to the theater.
Exactly.
This is your next show. But they don't have to all be comedies. I mean, Romeo and Juliet still gets produced. Hamlet still gets produced.
Gotcha.
There are ways. There's such a thing as beautiful sadness.
Gotcha.
And what might have been. These are all good topics for tragic material.
Okay.
And sometimes people go to the theater because they need to laugh.
Yes, it is the laugh. Just need to give it that laugh.
Yeah, and
okay.
I've gone to the Edinburgh Fringe Festival a number of times, and that Fringe Festival has evolved. It's about 50% theater and 50% comedy. Another reason that these Fringe Festivals tend to have so many one-person shows is that's expensive to produce for them. And also with the California legislation AB 5, which jacked up the production expenses
Gotcha.
For shows. You have fewer shows being produced with large casts, which is a shame.
Okay.
But
got a couple of photos we want to show you. Here's two of his clients that he's had in the back. Here's one. Streamfest from the White Fire Theater.
Who is that now?
Streamfest.
No, I don't think that's mine.
Okay.
Sorry.
Move on to the next one.
Who's that person? I can't really see the picture. It's very tiny on my screen.
Okay, got you. And the next one, I know you know this lady.
Yes, Adela Barnes. Yes,
that lady, I know you know.
I've been working with her now for 22 years.
Woo!
Yeah, she is the executive producer of the Los Angeles Women's Theater Festival.
Yep.
And which focuses on female solo performers.
Okay.
And from around the world. And it addresses the topic of sexism in the theater world.
Please, not in front of the children.
I know. But sometimes, women have come up to me and say, "Oh, the men are hogging all the stage time." So, the LA Women's Theater Festival addresses that by giving a platform for women to write and act.
Gotcha. But
occasionally they've featured, on occasion they've produced a couple of male performers as well, just because of the merit of the show. And because, oh, well, as women producers, we can do anything we want. Okay, that's okay too.
All right.
Um, if we have a few minutes, I'd like to talk about what I've got coming up. At the end of August, I've got a silent film festival coming up at Sierra Madre Playhouse. We'll have 2 days of 5 programs of silent films. And the festival is called The Camera Is Ours.
All right.
And the focus is on women in early Hollywood. And the Sierra Madre Playhouse will be doing a musical in September called The Right Is Ours, which was about the friendship of Susan B. Anthony and the efforts to get women's suffrage. And that's going to open, I think, on September the 8th. I myself will be back on the boards early in August at Theater West.
Okay.
We're doing a festival of short plays called West Fest, and I'll be in a short play there called, it's a comedy.
You'll be working as an actor?
Yeah.
And publicist too?
Yeah, I'll be the publicist on this event as well.
Wow, that's great.
And
that's great.
And
because I want to ask you, does being an actor make you be more closer to a publicist or vice versa?
I have occasionally used my position as a publicist to get some roles, and it has worked for me a few times.
Yes,
a few times, but
gotcha.
I'll be working with an actress I've worked with on a couple of shows before.
Yes,
Saratoga Ballantyne. She's a very gifted comedian.
Okay.
Beautiful, talented, and so that'll be at Theater West. That'll be in one of the first 2 weekends of August. I'm not sure which one yet. They haven't announced which dates we're getting.
Got you.
But we're doing a short comedy called Anticipation, and that's coming up.
Okay.
I've got other things coming up. I have a show. Well, you had him on recently, Tom Alper. He's got a show called The Pitch. And
I wonder how we got him so clean.
Yeah, there you go. His show is opening on July the 1st. I'll be running at the Mad Nanny Theater in Hollywood. It used to be called the Lex Theater, but it's been completely renovated and dolled up. And so that's going to be opening on the 1st of July. Sierra Madre Playhouse will be having The Turn of the Screw by Henry James. That'll be going up on the 14th of July. Also have a show called Tevye in New York,
right,
starring Tom Dugan. He did this at the Wallace Theater, I guess, last year. He's bringing it back, and he set up a theater in his backyard.
My goodness.
In Woodland Hills, and he's successfully mounted several shows there. But this being the summer, and the weather's nice, and so he's going to bring back that show where he's going to play Tevye the Milkman, made famous in Fiddler on the Roof.
Sounds great. Unfortunately, we have to go.
Oh, okay.
Philip, thanks so much for stopping by today. If a person needs you to be the publicist, please give us a contact number.
Okay. My number is 626-674-0504.
Repeat, please.
Huh?
Can you repeat that, Fred?
626-674-0504. Or you can contact me by email at showbizphil@gmail.com. That's showbizphil@gmail.com.
Oh my God. Phil, keep on doing what you're doing.
Well, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Philip Sokoloff, the one, the only.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me on.
Okay. This is the Actors Choice. I'm your host, Ron Brewington. We'd like to let you know that we're asking our best people to help us get former baseball player Curt Flood into the Baseball Hall of Fame. Now, Curt passed away January 20th, 1997. He was the husband of one of our wonderful guests, renowned actress, Judy Pace. So all you got to do is give us a call at our telephone number, 213-349-3941. That's 213-349-3941. We sincerely thank each and every one of you for being a part of this magnificent award for a great baseball player. Roll it again, Tony. Ladies and gentlemen, my favorite persuasion here. Let me take a moment to ask you a very important question, and that is, have you ever thought about getting into broadcasting? You know, the money is good. You meet a lot of people to go to different places. It's just a start. Ask yourself the question: do you want to get into broadcasting? That's the question that I ask you. I teach a class over at Santa Monica College. I've been there for over 20 years, and we can offer you the skills of broadcasting, announcing, and production. Ladies and gentlemen, all I want to say is, how do you get there? I have a voice just like you do have a voice. It has to be trained. That's what it's all about. Think about it. You may call 323-533-1036. That's 323-533-1036. Thank you. Roll it, Tony.
Thanks, Joyce.
Have a great day.
I don't think Shannon is right. Joyce, the lunch lady, could not be our mascot. She has a bad hip. Plus, there's no way she could do a round-off in a 40-pound suit.
So brave what you're doing. Keep wrestling for the rainbow.
What? Pudding?
Double for wrestlers.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
Pudding me, Joyce.
Sorry, Jimmy. Those were my last two.
But I'm about to make history as the only undefeated wrestler on the team.
I have, some loose mints in my apron.
All right. Mint me, Joyce.
Ladies and gentlemen, my next guest today is a multi-hyphenated artist. She's most known for her recurring work as Patrice in the hit CBS comedy, How I Met Your Mother. Currently, she's working on selling a pilot that she wrote about her unique biracial Filipino-American experience. Sounds good to me. Go for it, ladies and gentlemen. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome actress, director, Ellen D. Williams. Hello, Ms. Williams. Welcome to the Actors Show, and glad you could make it. Please tell us where I'm doing good. When I see people like you and Philip Sokoloff coming in there first, I have a good time. And people coming behind them, I have a good time doing this show. But please tell us where you were born.
I was born in Santa Monica, California.
Santa Monica?
Yeah, where you teach college.
Yes. Yeah. And look at that. Everybody recognizes that beach right there.
The pier. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're born in Santa Monica. Okay.
Yeah.
Right now. We're rolling. We were born in. Okay. Good deal. What made you want to be an actress?
Oh gosh, I grew up in front of the television in the 70s, and I just, I would see, women like Carol Burnett and Joan Rivers and just funny women of that time, and then eventually I would see, Whoopi Goldberg, do her one-woman show, or and I don't know, it was just something I just always wanted to do. I don't know exactly where that came from, but I just was always like, I want to do that. Yeah.
Are you glad you did it?
Yeah. I think there are times when I don't ever think I've had a regret about it. Yeah. I've always been glad I've done it. Yeah.
Now you do got to get what I call a little education, right? You got to do that, some training.
You do.
So where'd you get yours at?
I got mine at Cal State Long Beach.
Long Beach. That's, you and I both went to that school.
Yeah. I majored in theater performance, and I loved it. I was on a 6-year plan.
Yes.
So I took a little bit of time, and but yeah, I loved every minute of it. I was very involved and did a lot of shows, and yeah, I really loved my education there, and the group of people that I got to surround myself with. Yeah.
Tell us about the support you get from your family and friends in what you do.
I've been really lucky. I think for the most part, I think it's a little hard. I have an immigrant mother and a father who's originally from Eastern Washington, and so.
What did you say? You say your father was in the Navy? Did I hear you say that?
Yes.
Oh,
my father was in the Navy.
Go Navy.
Oh
yes.
And
her and I, all these combinations.
Yeah, I know, we have so much in common. Yeah, and so my father was in the Navy, and he met my mother, and they've always been pretty supportive. I think my mom, as an immigrant, it was more like, you should probably get something that you can make money, like have a 9-to-5. And my parents are, of the boomer generation. And so, that's the mentality mentality, which I can, understand for the most part. And I don't think it was until I really started finding success and, specifically financially here, that my mom was like, okay, yeah, I guess someone can make a living doing this. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you would do me a favor and please go back and tell your father from one Navy man to another man, thank you for your service to this country.
I will. And thank you for your service. I've been meaning to ask him what his
job
what
was.
he did, but they are actually on a river cruise right now.
Right.
So
see, they have Navy man on a cruise. Look at Navy man.
Yeah, exactly.
How about you? Okay. Let's get a little serious here because this is true. What is the status, as you know, of Filipino Americans in actors?
Yeah, I think, it's interesting. I just did this panel recently for a group called Film Creative. And,
yes.
It was a 6 Filipino American actors on the stage and sharing our different, backgrounds in regards to our careers. And, and it's funny because I was up on the, older generation. And then there was like someone who was, I think 17, she hadn't turned even 18, and she's on a new show, and her experience, obviously, compared to my experience, has been very different, vastly different. So I think, people like Joe Coy have helped out, getting us representation, out there and going, oh yeah, there's a Filipino American, and, he's gone from stand-up to doing producing, and he had his movie Easter Sunday, who had multiple friends in that, and and I think we're starting to see more of us. We are the second largest Asian population in the United States.
That's right.
And yet,
down south.
Yep, and we don't really see a lot of us on television. We are seeing, like Ginger Gonzaga, she's also biracial like myself. She was just in True Lies, so she played a lead in that. The show, there's another show on Fox, the Maid one, that has I think a couple, maybe half Filipino leads. But yeah, I mean, it's far and few between, and I really think that it needs to be a trickle down effect in regards to people and executives who are of color in those roles, who then start, hiring people below them, and then, when it comes to shows,
yes.
The what a writer's room looks like, because unless you get, people who can write different stories in writers' rooms, you're not gonna see different stories. So, so I do think it's changing, but one thing I constantly say is, like, if you don't see it, then write it. And then
right.
At that point you can try to sell it, or you can also shoot it on this thing that you call the second brain,
yes.
An iPhone. And there's plenty of platforms nowadays, YouTube, the biggest one,
yes.
that you can just do it. You can tell stories. There's so many ways to tell your story these days.
I got to tell a story.
So, yeah,
I do.
You're going to tell a story?
It's called How I Met Your Mother.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Remember that movie?
TV show. Yeah.
TV show?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Tony, here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Can you roll it, please?
Hi, Barney. You seem like you run fast. Do you want me to fan you with my Us magazine?
He's fine.
Thanks, Patrice.
We'll do it for you, Robin.
Don't you have a late-breaking weather story to cover, Brandy?
Oh, I did it already. It rained.
I gotta jump on a big Bro Bibs conference call.
Nobody asked for your help, Patrice! You had it, Brandy!
Hi, Robin!
Nobody asked you here, Patrice!
When I saw it, I went, wow. Wow.
Yeah, there's a great example of a role that was actually created based on a real person who is actually Filipino American. And so, and her name is actually Patrice. So that was one of the first times where I ever saw a breakdown, which is what agents and managers get in regards to characters. It's a breakdown of characters and everything. And so it said Filipina American. Or Filipina, I think it said. Yeah. So that was very specific. And we're starting to see that more, which is great.
Good.
So, yeah.
Damn time. About time.
Yeah.
See some stuff up in here.
Yeah.
Got one good for you. Got one good because you came here today for this special reason.
Yeah.
Last summer at Bluefish Cove.
Yes.
Look at there.
I know. We're in our second week of running.
Yeah. How's it going so far?
It's great. It's just a really outstanding. I mean, there's 8 of us. There's 8 women and non-binary folks, and to have a group that large, none of us actually knew each other, which is really strange in this, kind of small LA theater scene. And we just have become, like right off the bat, we just became very close, and we're very much family and sisters, and it's been going really well, and it's been amazing to tell this story. It was a play written in the 80s by a woman who is now no longer with us, named Jane Chambers. She wrote the story about 8 queer women. Yeah, there she is. Okay. Yes. Okay. She wrote the story about 8 queer women in this pretend area, supposedly like in Long Island and the East Coast, called Bluefish Cove. I'm sure a lot of it is based on her own life. And it's about these women and their friendship and how they pull through this certain situation that comes up. And it's just a lovely representation. It's very timeless and also strangely timely. And is that correct in me saying that? With a lot of the stuff that are going on for LGBTQIA rights. And I think, it's just a piece that you're seeing real people. We avoid the tropes, and it's a story about friendship mainly. And these women just happen to be queer. So, but it's a story that everyone can relate to.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Who's your director?
Our director is Hannah Wolf. She's this amazing. There she is. She's amazing. We actually didn't know each other, but we have a lot of mutual friends, and she's fantastic and an actor's director, and just was lovely to work with, and open and collaborative, and just everything that you could wish for in a director as an actor. Yeah.
Wish for something. We'll give you your wish.
Yes, absolutely.
Photo number 1, please, Tony.
Yeah. I know.
We do this together all the time. He's a good guy. Now look at that one. Can you tell us what we're looking at right there?
Yeah, that's a promo shot of us. There's all of us right there, just having fun, having a good time. Each of us are in a couple. And so, it's just a great group of women, and this play that was most of the time mostly a white cast, a female cast. It's lovely to have women of color in this cast, just because it kind of lends itself to a different lens and a different way of telling this story. So let's see the next picture. It's really exciting. There's me.
Yeah, well,
there's me. There's me and Lindsay Levinshay, and she plays one of our leads, Eva. And this is a scene where I'm kind of telling her how things are. She's I won't give anything away. So, but I'm kind of I probably my character is the most that can relate to her experience. And so I'm kind of giving her advice in this little moment. Yeah.
The next photo is this. Isn't it? Because we're running out of time.
Oh my God. Oh yeah. That's another kind of, promo production shot. Yeah. We're just hanging out on the cove.
Right. Out behind the back there. Yes.
Yeah, that's in our second act. So that's the top of our second act. So we're all just hanging out at the Cove. But look at how beautiful that set is, which is was
only in Southern California.
Yeah, which was designed by Desmond Murphy, and it is an outdoor experience. It's gorgeous. You can get all the information you need about the show at fountaintheater.com. Fountaintheater.com. You can just scroll down and look for that one picture that you saw first of all of us, and click on that, and you can see an online program. You can book tickets. We have 7 p.m. curtain. We are outside. It's a beautiful immersive experience in that everyone gets headphones. So it's very intimate. You get to really hear everything because we're competing with Hollywood and the surroundings of Hollywood. And yeah, so dress warm until it gets a little warmer. 7 p.m. curtain, and we run until the end of August. We have a little break, I think, the first weekend of August, the 4th through the 7th, I believe we're off. But other than that, we run Friday through Monday, and Mondays are a pay what you can. So, yeah, it's a great show, and we've had most people all people really. I should say most people say, yeah, people need to see this. Yeah, it's really good storytelling.
We got to go. Ellen, marvelous day of you stopping by. Come on back to the world's famous, ladies and gentlemen, at the Fountain Theater, a play you'll really, really enjoy.
There it is.
The telephone number is 323-663-1525. That's 323-663-1525. And remember, 40th anniversary of the play. It's been around for a long time.
Yes, 40th anniversary.
40th anniversary. Hey.
I know.
Yeah,
yes.
Ellen D. Williams, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thanks,
see you on the backside.
See you soon. Bye now.
Bye. This is the Actors Choice. I'm your host, Ron Brewington. Roll it, Tony. Ladies and gentlemen, for more information about the TAC Roll Cool channel, please call us at 213-349-3941. That's 213-349-3941. Okay? Roll it, Tony.
Good afternoon, my readers. My name is Ken Murray. I want to tell you about my third book that is being published. It comes out May the 23rd of this year. How to Cope with Loneliness After the Loss of a Friend or Spouse of Many Years. And believe me, it took me almost 2.5 years to figure out how to cope with loneliness after 60 years of a glorious marriage. But I had to fight it for 2.5 years, but I do have a handle on it today. I can cope with loneliness because I can go back to memories that we had, good memories. And that book is on.
Ladies and gentlemen, my next two guests are here today talking about a father and son. The father has written several books on the subjects of walking in my shoes as a Black and walking beside my husband as a proud woman in America. So please welcome author Ken Murray and agent Marques Murray. Welcome, gentlemen. Welcome to the Actors Choice. Let's get started with Ken. First question, how did you meet your wife?
Ron, I met my wife by accident on a beach in an old raggedy 49 Ford that I put together. And I lived in the state of Pennsylvania, and so it took me 2 years to put that Ford together.
Woo!
After I got together, I said, let me test this car. I ran that car through the state of Pennsylvania, the state of Delaware, through the state of Maryland, and wound up on Paul's Beach in Annapolis, Maryland.
Right.
To this day, I don't know if I drove the car or the car drove me, but I was right up in the center of the beach with all these people. And here comes this lady and 2 other ladies walking by me, and I reached out and I grabbed her by the arm. I said, can you tell me where I'm at and what's all these people doing here? And she said, you're at Paul's Beach and Jackie Wilson is playing tonight. And I said, who is Jackie Wilson? And she just fell out laughing. And that's how I met my wife, Virginia.
Got you. How long were you guys married?
60 glorious years.
Woo!
Not one argument. Now, I repeat, not one argument in 60 years.
Wow. So what's your advice about a long and healthy relationship all that time?
I say give the female 55% of the range.
Okay.
Whatever she wanted, that made sense. And she was a sensible person. So I didn't have to worry about anything that she would say that didn't agree with me. So, I mean, our love was so strong. We were, you know, we really didn't care about material things.
Got you.
We only cared about ourselves. And each day it got stronger and stronger. We got to the point after 20 years, we really didn't have to talk to one another. We knew what we were thinking, and it worked out great.
Got you. Now, I've been told this, I hear this all the time. They say there are 3 reasons for marriages to survive. Number 3 is money. Number 2 is sex. Number 1 is lack of communications. What do you think?
The first 2 is incorrect. Money you don't need for love. I mean, love is timeless. You don't need money for love. If you're married for money, you go broke, what's going to happen to your marriage? Probably goes right with the money at the door. Sex, we were married for 60 years, Ron. This is the truth. The day we got married, my wife said to me, I don't like sex. I said, that's fine. I just want to be with you. You know, over 60 years, our sex was fine with us. We had maybe once every 4 or 5 months, but sex isn't the key to love. It really isn't. And communication is the key. I'll go along with the third one. Communication is the key. But money, power, sex, and greed, no. It has nothing to do with real love from the old school.
You're hearing it from the author, ladies and gentlemen. You're hearing it. Ken, next question. Why did you write this book?
It wasn't my idea. My wife took sick. She was in the hospital for 67 days before she passed. And I couldn't sleep at night because I worried about her. Every morning I came down to visit her before COVID struck. And she says, honey, you don't sleep at night. Why don't you write a story about us, our marriage, at 60 years of love? And she said, when you do, when you come down in the morning, bring it down so I can see it. So she started me writing the book about love life for 60 years, and it was gorgeous.
Okay. Tony, can you show us a picture of what that looks like? Number 46. Try walk. There you go. Try walking in my shoes as a black man on planet Earth.
This is it. Right there. Yeah. This book here represents about maybe 13 years of the 60.
All right.
And it goes, as I spoke to you, how I met her at the beach by accident. Like I said, to this day, I don't know if the car drove me or I drove the car, but in this book is true love for at least 13 years. Okay. And it goes from the beginning to like the 13th year.
Okay. And did you write this book before she passed or afterwards?
I wrote this book while she was still here. You know,
what did she think about it?
Pardon?
What did your wife think about the book?
Oh, she loved it. The reason why she loved it, it was all true.
Okay.
My wife and I walked every line and every page of all 5 books.
Okay. 5 books. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Before we go any further, how can we get our hands on your books?
This book is now at Amazon, Barnes & Noble.
Okay.
Kindle. But let me say this to you.
Please.
I read a book about 30 years ago, and I loved it. It was called Romeo and Juliet, the world's greatest lovers. They were not the world's greatest lovers. Regina and Ken, 2 Afro-Americans. Yes, 2 Afro-Americans. We were the world's greatest lovers. And once you read these books, you'll find out why.
Okay. As the gentleman standing next to you, could you please introduce him and let's have a quick conversation with him?
Yes, this is my son, Marques Murrey, and also my agent.
Hello, young man. How you doing?
How you doing, Ron?
Good to see you, sir. I understand that you're your father's agent. Is that correct?
But that's correct. That's correct.
Is that correct? Okay.
I'm my father's agent.
Say again?
I'm my father's agent, but my mother's son. You know, he's even more important. But go ahead. What's your next question, Ron?
Got you. How's business for your dad for the book?
You know, it's phenomenal, man. Right now, as I said, the books are on Barnes & Noble, Kindle, and Amazon. That's all books. Recently, he'll talk about the 3rd book just got published.
3rd book?
What you didn't know, we wanted to surprise you, young fella.
Yes, we want to see it. Yes, indeed.
I'm going to let him go ahead and take the reins on that.
All right.
But it's a blessing to be able to support my mom, who's passed away, and my dad, who's still here. All he ever wanted, folks, was to get my mother's face on the cover of a book. We weren't thinking about publishing and getting it out there to the world. But it's not just us feeling like this. A lot of people have lost people that they love over the years, right? We're just speaking for the masses. And I hope you get a chance to read the book, easy access to the book. Tell them about the third book, Bob.
Yeah, Ron, the third book actually is published. It comes out in 11 days. In fact, it comes out June the 10th, if not before.
Okay, now what's the name of this new book, please?
The name of the new book is How to Cope with Loneliness After the Loss of a Friend or a Spouse of Many Years. Now, this is emailed to me. It's a little bit dark, but when the book comes out, you'll be able to see it on the front cover quite clear.
Okay. When we get a copy of that, we'll put it on our website so people can see it. Yes, definitely.
So, you know, how to, excuse me, how to cope with loneliness after losing a friend or a spouse for many years.
For many years.
You know, your wife, friend, brother, whomever related to you, they could be living, sir, but not recognize who you are.
Right.
Right? You could have lost a pet or someone very close to you. So it's a widespread ocean of people. And we've gotten so many comments on TikTok. We're on TikTok. We're on Instagram. We got over 1,000 comments, Ron, on TikTok within a short amount of time of people.
Okay.
We're also feeling that. But you guys go and finish your interview.
Okay. One of the things that you guys did was you started want to raise some money so you can publish the book and get it out there. Can you tell us about that, please?
Yes, that's a GoFundMe that we have started. It's doing fairly well, but we want to get it on TikTok, and we're working on that as we speak.
Right.
But it's all set up. Yeah.
The GoFundMe says, hey, you know, if you can donate $5, 5 cents to a worthy cause, we're not asking anything astronomical, just so we can put the funds back in to promoting all 3 books. Not to mention there's a 4th book coming too, which we won't talk about right now. And it's highly likely that's
I was going to ask that question. When's the 4th book? Wow.
It's going to be a 4th book as well. And we're looking at opportunity here, opportunity there, maybe a movie here, script. But we're putting it out there to the public who may have an opportunity to give us a lift.
Give us a telephone number, or how can people get money to you? How can that happen?
Well, is that in my phone number?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Ron, that's 484-401-0080.
Can you repeat that again, please, sir?
484-401-0080.
All right.
Folks, or they can reach me, the agent. My number is 310-600-8212.
Okay. That's the agent number. Okay.
That's the agent. Now, as well, you know, I'm in the Screen Actors Guild. I'm a union actor. Well, so I'm reaching out to my entertainers, to my actors as well.
Right. There's one book we did get. I Walk Beside My Husband and a Proud Black Woman in America. Tell us about that one.
Well, I walk beside my husband.
Yes.
As a proud Black woman.
Amen, brother. Amen.
In America. And she was right there with me the whole time during the 60 years.
Yes.
Wow. Any place I wanted to go, she didn't have to ask, she could come. So she had my back 100%. And that's one good thing about really being in love. You don't have to worry about your spouse disagreeing with you. I knew without a shadow of a doubt, whatever I did, she would approve. Now, a few times I've said a few things in public, and she just smiled and approved until she got me home. And she said, honey, that was wrong, and I disagree with you now. But we always worked it out, and I said, okay, dear, I was wrong. I went a little too far.
That's beautiful.
But she had my back 100%.
Beautiful.
She really did.
Oh, that's beautiful. To see a family coming together, and writing a book. When they see you and they meet you, what do they say to you about all the work you've done?
Well, they can't believe it. They can't believe that I was married for 60 years. I don't know anybody who was married for 60 years. And on top of that, no argument. I said, not one argument. We have, hey, Ron, I got to tell you this. We have one disagreement in 60 years.
Yes.
What is that?
When I first met her on the beach, I said, can I get you something to eat?
Yes.
She said, no, I'll take a raspberry iced tea. When we're in our 40s, she was at the computer. I was watching TV, and I got up. She says, are you going for dinner? I said, yes. I went and ordered 2 unsweetened iced teas with lemon, 2 fish and chips. When I got it back, I got into the garage, and she come running out of the house into the garage, and she grabbed me and hugged me and gave me a big kiss. And she said, I've been waiting for this raspberry iced tea for 2 hours. And then it dawned on me. I actually fell to my knees and grabbed her waist because it was unsweetened iced tea. She spit it out and says, "This is not raspberry iced tea." I'm on my knees. I said to her, "Let me go back and get you the raspberry iced tea." She said, 28 miles in one direction. Absolutely not. I said, "Well, I'm not going to get up off my knees until you say okay." She said, "All right, dear." But you know, the point is, Ron, I would have driven 1,000 miles to have gotten her that raspberry iced tea. Just to see the smile on her face, it made me feel like a millionaire, and I don't have a penny. But that's love.
And I must say, he would have drove 3,000 miles for my mom for that. To LA and back, he would have, because the love was real. You know,
Gotcha.
so I'm a product of that love.
Yes.
You know, for you guys out there who know Marques, you'll know that that's telling you the truth. You know, when you see it, you know, when you see a man opening the car door for a woman, you see a man drive out of his way, you know, and do a back rub, massage and all that, you want to share that with people. And that's what these books have in it.
And
right?
I did all the cooking for her for 60 years. She could cook, but I did all the cooking. Ron, I did everything for her because I wanted to, not because she asked me to.
Okay.
I gave her a bath, I towel her off, I scrubbed her hair. I did it.
All right.
Did the whole 9 yards.
All right. Gentlemen, we're out of time, unfortunately. I want to thank you both for being here today and bringing us some super info. You just got the third book you told us about, but how about a fourth book? You told us you will do that. Would love to see it. And Agent Marques, hang in there with your dad, by all means.
Thank you for having
God bless you for what you're doing.
Thank you very much, Ron.
Thank you,
We
gentlemen.
appreciate you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I want to thank our sponsors, Harvey Brandman Photography is an Art, Ron Irwin's Lose the Way to Lose Weight, Larry Buford's book To the Future, Time Travel Message in a Capsule, State Farm agent Carla Green, and veteran actor Rob Brownstein's Actor Training School and Actors Space. Much thanks to our guest today, ladies and gentlemen, actor, publicist, producer Philip Sokoloff, actress, director Ellen D. Williams, author Kenneth E. Murray Sr., likes to be called Ken, and agent Marques Murrey. Special thanks to our ever-growing audience. Be well. See you next time.